If you hood educated, I'm glad you made it. Allow me to unfold my knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from a hood brother's point of view to all of you here, there, and everywhere. Now check me out. On November 7th, 2024, the grand jury returned the first superseding indictment, FSI, against defendant and his co-conspirators. The FSI identified defendant as co-conspirator 1 and alleged that he formed and was the leader of OTF, a group of individuals who engaged in violence, including murder and assault, and at the direction of defendant banks and to maintain their status in OTF. At introductory allegations, the FSI also include an allegation that defendant commercialized his violence through rap lyrics. It's one thing that we need to pay real close attention to in that paragraph. And it's one thing that they keep putting out there that's very important that a lot of people are probably missing. They are calling Lil Durk a leader. And anybody that know anything about the federal government or even state police, they hate leaders. They can't stand them. Now, don't get me wrong, you can be the leader of the boys club and stuff like that. You know, you can be the leader of non-profit organizations and all that. But when it comes to violence, when it comes to gang members, crimes, criminal organizations, the feds don't play that. They don't play that. And that's why they keep pushing that this guy right here is a leader. And like I say, not of the record label OTF. No, they ain't talking about, they talking about of OTF, the gang. They are saying that Lil Durk are directing other members of OTF to commit violence. I'm talking about the ultimate violence, which is murder. Now, we got to understand something. Whenever someone, or when the federal government believes that someone has that type of power, no, you can't be on the streets no more. You got the power to tell people to go end other people's lives. No, you can't be free no more. You can't be in the community no more. You showing us right now that you going against everything that we stand for. We done laid down the law, clear and cut. You can't kill. You can't murder. You can't rob. You can't steal. You can't kidnap. You can't do none of that. But here it is, you a criminal organization and y'all doing all of that. That's one of the reasons that I believe, just through my experience of watching the feds do sweeps in the hood and stuff like that, watching the state police do sweeps in the hood like that. For an example, for everybody that's in this Midwest that's dealing with, you know, peoples and folks. And what I mean by that, you know, the Vice Lords, Stones, Kings, black disciples, black gangsters, gangster disciples, you know, stuff like that. These, you know, these nations, what they do with the leaders. Some of the leaders are still locked up to this day, got locked up in the 70s. And they still locked up right now, not because of murder, just because they leaders. And now they trying to put this leader of a criminal organization on Lil Durk. And you think they gonna turn that boy loose? Come on now. They look, when they deal with what they believe to be leaders of criminal organizations, the government don't play fair when it come to that right there. The government don't play fair. That's why they putting it out there like, look, hey, whoa, this guy's a leader. He can't be out here no more. And so what I would like to do with y'all is I just would like to break down it, blow by blow, so that we all can, get a good understanding as to what's going on in the case. Now, like I told y'all in my last video, the part about Durk arguing about these lyrics and stuff like that, and I made the lyrics earlier than what they talking about. It don't connect me to the murder and all that. Look, that's fine and dandy. Okay, that's a good point. You know what? You're right. We'll give you that. However, that does not negate the evidence that we got against you. That does not negate the witnesses we got pointing at you. That does not negate the wiretaps. It don't negate none of that. So all that stuff right there is still strong evidence as to his guilt, according to the federal government. In December 2024, the court held a detention hearing and considered evidence and arguments submitted by the parties. Among other things, defendant made the same argument he now raises in his application to reopen. A claim that the lyrics cited in an introductory allegation in the FSI about green lighting violence and could not be about SR, in other words, Lil Pop's murder, because defendant wrote the lyrics before the murder occurred. During the hearing, the court addressed the matter, finding that consistency and timing of the lyrics has some relevance but marginal to the dangerous issue, which is the issue before me today. After considering the evidence, the court ordered defendant detained based on flight risk and ongoing danger to the community. The court subsequently issued a thorough written detention order. As to danger, the court detailed the allegations against defendant, including that the co-conspirators acting at defendant's direction traveled to Los Angeles, tracked, stalked, and attempted to kill Quando Rondo by gunfire, including a fully automatic firearm in broad daylight in a busy Los Angeles intersection, and did kill a family member of the target who was traveling with him. The court also relied on evidence that this was not defendant's first murder for hire plot, noting in a separate matter in Chicago, defendant is alleged to have engaged in similar conduct. That is, he offered money for people to kill those responsible for his brother's murder, and more specifically, offering to pay money for any gangster disciple that is killed. As a result, the court found the material proffered by the government supports the conclusion that defendant uses his money, influence, and power to endanger individuals whom he perceived as a threat. Moreover, defendant's proffered that his fans, rather than defendant himself, created the video linking him to Lil Pop's murder is immaterial to the defendant's danger or flight. Defendant was not detained because of videos his fans created. He was detained because he is alleged to be the leader of a violent organization, because he orchestrated and funded an execution-style murder with machine guns at a busy gas station, and because he tried to flee the country after his co-conspirators were arrested. But even if the lyrics or the videos had some bearing on the detention analyst, they corroborated defendant's danger. Cold-blooded demonstration. The defendant has repeatedly used his pulpit as a voice of violence, publicly orchestrated and funded an execution-style murder with machine guns at a busy gas station, and because he tried to flee the country after his co-conspirators were arrested. But even if the lyrics or the videos had some bearing on the detention analysts, they corroborated defendant's danger. Defendant has repeatedly used his pulpit as a voice of violence, publicly rapped about paying for murders, hunting opponents with machine guns, bounty hunters, and Beverly Hills, and other lyrics that have strikingly similarity to the modus operandi used to kill Lil Pop. They are saying that the argument that he came up with the lyrics and all that type of stuff, the federal government is saying that you already made that argument. And when you made that argument, the judge denied all that and say, hey, look, no, man, we don't care about that. We care about everything else. They saying that Lil Durk got the power to direct people to stop what they doing in Chicago, leave their kids, their wives, their family alone, get on an airplane, fly all the way to foreign land. These guys are from Chicago. They don't know nothing about Los Angeles. They don't know nothing about California. But this is the power that Lil Durk has, that he can tell these men, hey, look, stop everything. I need y'all to go kill something for me. And they stop everything. Jump on the plane, go to foreign land. Get guns. What? You go to a whole nother city, state, get automatic machine guns and rifles and all that old type of stuff. Stalk, track somebody down to kill them? Come on. That's power. And the federal government, they don't like that. And they saying that, look, this is the type of power that a leader has. A leader is the only one that can direct men to commit murder. And that's what they hanging on right there. That's what they hanging on. That leadership position and the fact that he can cause people to die. They are putting out there to the judge that this is Lil Durk, this is not his first time hiring men to go kill men or trying to use his money, his influence, and his power to commit murder. The feds don't like that, bro. The feds don't play like that. Nah, you doing too much. It's just one thing for us to sit up here and let you rap and talk about murders and stuff like that, but now you committing murders and you directing people to murder people? No, we gotta lock you up. Listen, the feds, just from my experience, y'all, the feds will sit up here and let you make all type of money. Selling drugs, doing whatever you're doing and stuff like that, you know, they'll let you do all that, you know. But when you get too greedy and you try to get too much money, then that's when they come. Not only that, the feds know it's gangs all over the United States of America. They know they can file RICOs on all type of people if they want to. They don't be tripping. But as soon as you start killing, wait a minute, hold on. They did what? The Vice Lords, how many people they killed? 5? Oh no, we gotta come sweep them. Nah, hell no, you know. And they can be poor, they ain't gotta be making no money, but it's just the killing. How many killings the GDs did over South? What? 10? Oh, no, we gotta go get them. They killing too many people. We don't play that. So when you start getting into that murder game, no, hey, look, they coming. Hey, yeah, come on, man. Lay everything down. We need everything about you. And we've been listening to you on the phone and everything. We got your other homeboy. We caught him with a gun, and he told the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Ain't no, give us those phones and all that, because everything you thought you deleted, we finna dig into those phones and dig all that up. All the stuff you've been talking about on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, all that old type of stuff, they gonna go all the way back to MySpace. Yeah, this I code, they gonna go all the way back to MySpace. Hey, yeah, you said this and that connect that to that. No, I ain't mean that. I ain't mean that. It don't matter what you meant. It's how the federal government perceive it. You can mean something totally different, but the feds say, no, this means that. You like, no, it don't. Yes, it do. And that's what we're going to tell the judge, and that's what we're going to tell the witnesses. I mean, not the witnesses, excuse me, but that's what we're going to tell the jury. They don't play fair. Before I depart, allow me to say something to a lot of you brothers that entertain the thought that they cannot use your rap lyrics against you. This is a prime example. Like, I don't understand how y'all not seeing this. The YSL case, I don't understand, like, how y'all not seeing this. All this stuff, they can't use your rap lyrics against you. They putting it in your face. They showing you that, look, we will use your rap lyrics against you in the court of law. But understand this right here. I understand freedom of speech. I understand the art of rhyming and talking crazy and all that old type of stuff over them dope beats. I understand that. But this is where the crime happens. When you start rapping about real life events, real robberies, kidnappings, murders. Nah, we finna connect that to something that we believe it to mean, and there it go. You knocked. They can use that. When you start talking about real life events, they can use that. Now, if you said, hey, look, you know, I blew a dude head off, and you know I flew to Tokyo, you know, to kick it with my Asian homies and this, that, and the other, and you lying, they ain't got nothing, no evidence to connect you to blowing somebody's head off and going to Tokyo to kick it with your homeboys and stuff like that. They ain't got nothing. But when you sit up here and say, hey, look, I don't want the one that you caught. I want the one that I paid for. See, one of Lil Durk lyrics. When you start saying stuff like that, the feds can say, oh, okay. Oh, he didn't want them to kill Lil Pop. Right? But that's who they killed. He wanted them to kill Quando Rondo. Okay, alright, yeah. That's what he meant in that song right there. They going through your songs with a fine-tooth comb. They got time today. They gonna sit there, I'm talking about, and examine everything and anything that's incriminating. From kidnapping, robbery, selling drugs, murder, anything that's incriminating that they can connect to a real life event, that's your ass. Excuse me, but they using that against you in a court of law. But see, with you rappers, y'all get a little money, then y'all lose y'all mind. And with you gangsters out there, you drug dealers, y'all get a little money and y'all lose y'all mind. Y'all start really thinking that y'all can't go to jail. Cause y'all just start getting real reckless with your activity. And then when the police pop up, then you, hey man, no, somebody done told or something done happened. You told on yourself by your recklessness. So once again, allow me to say this right here. Close your mouth. Shut it up. All that old ain't no cap in my rap and all that. Like, come on, like, you want cap to be in your rap. Yeah, you want your raps to be cap. You don't want your raps to be reality and all that. Who made that up? All y'all going to jail for, I'm spitting the real, you know what I'm saying? When I say I killed somebody, I really mean it. When I seen somebody get killed over here on 39th, I really mean it, you know? You going to jail for that right there. So now, they are finna use all of that and everything they can to keep Lil Durk locked up. I believe in my mind this right here. The reason why the judge even reconsidered a bond is because of this right here. The judge feel that, okay, cool. The prosecution, y'all did lie. Y'all said that you know, those lyrics was connected to this murder. Y'all bogus for that and y'all lied. So I gotta give them something. I gotta give them something. Just so that they can feel like, okay, everything is fair. There's no bias here and things like that. But deep in that judge's heart, he already know, I'm not letting that boy go. Yeah, I'm gonna let him see a little light. I'm gonna let him get a little glimpse of some light, and then I'm gonna close it back on him. Because of the nature of the crime, the nature of the offenses, the violent nature. I gotta protect the community. What if I let Lil Durk go and he start using this money and people start dying all over Chicago? What if some of the witnesses get killed before the trial? The judge said, no, I can't let that go. I can't do that. We got a case here. I'm gonna give this boy a little light, make him think something finna happen. And if we have the hearing, or after reading these motions that the prosecutor done filed and that the defense done filed, I'm gonna shut it back down. Nah, bail denied. That way he can save face and say that, yeah, well, the prosecutor did lie about that. And so, but I gave you guys the opportunity. You guys did not come with any new facts. You guys did not prove anything. You guys could not tell me where Durk was when these murders was happening. You guys could not tell me that Durk did not have anything to do with this. None of his co-conspirators are saying, hey, look, you know what? I'm the guy that did everything. Lil Durk didn't do nothing. You ain't bring me no newly discovered evidence, so therefore, all the evidence that we have as to his guilt weighs heavily against releasing him. Cold-blooded demonstration. This is Hood Educated, not Lame Related. Peace and love, and y'all take care of yourself out there. If I said anything that caused you to think, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And if you're feeling generous, please make a small donation to the channel. Peace and love.